Hello friends and welcome to this video. Now in this video we are going to talk about personal excellence. I'm sure a lot of you have felt personal excellence at some time or the other. A beautiful song by a singer, a lovely painting by a painter, a good dish, a great dish by a chef, a nicely written poem, a well-made movie. These are all examples of excellence. A lot of excellence comes about in the world because of teams, because of collaborations. But then there are other forms of excellence which we exhibit not just at work but also in daily life. Now, what is this personal excellence and how can it be achieved? Today, we are going to speak about this. Now, excellence is not something that comes about by chance. Excellence is not something that you can suddenly have. Excellence is not something that can be developed all of a sudden. It can't happen, as a fluke. Excellence is something which is developed with practice. Excellence is a habit. Excellence is an ever moving goal, an ever moving target. So there may be a lot of talents within each one of us. But if these talents have to be converted into personal excellence, then it's a continuous process, as our ex president, our very respected president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who's unfortunately no more, he said, excellence is a continuous process and not an accident. So, excellence is not a fluke, it is not an accident, it's a process. So, if you want to develop personal excellence in any area, in any field, then you've got to work on your personal excellence. You've got to create a process for yourself which will lead you to that personal excellence journey, because it's a continuous process. It's a journey. It's not something that happens by chance. And whatever we do today, it can be done better tomorrow. So that is the underlying principle for personal excellence. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. Will Durant. So excellence is a habit. Whatever you repeatedly do becomes a habit. So you've got to form a habit of excellence, a habit of doing things well, a habit of doing something better every time. So every time you do something, you do it a little better, and that brings personal excellence. Now, my dear friends, we all know this gyan is something that everybody knows, everybody has this gyan. But now you tell me, what prevents us from achieving personal excellence? How can we learn to utilize our innate abilities to the fullest? Why aren't we able to do this? What is stopping our continuous development and growth? See, because everybody knows why we need to grow. Everybody knows how we can actually achieve more than what we are doing at present. But still, we aren't able to do it. So, there must be something that is stopping a lot of us from achieving excellence, from achieving personal excellence, from utilizing our potential and our capacities to the maximum, and from growing our skills, from making use of our abilities, from encashing our talent which lies within us. So let's look at some of the reasons. So, my dear friends, if you look at this, then you will find that human personalities are also like icebergs. An iceberg is a floating, a large floating piece of ice that has broken off from one of the ice shelves. We have these ice shelves in the northern hemisphere, we have it in the Antarctic, Arctic. So Antarctic is the southern hemisphere and Arctic is in the northern hemisphere. So northern hemisphere is Arctic and southern hemisphere it's Antarctic. So at these two extremities, the North Pole and the South Pole, we have ice shelves. We have, tremendous deposits of ice which have been there now for thousands of years. And when something breaks from there, and it may form an iceberg. Now, an iceberg is something which is submerged, which is 1/9 visible to us, and then the rest is below the sea. And it was a big iceberg that the Titanic, the safest ship in the world, hit because it couldn't make out. So that iceberg proved to be the nemesis of the Titanic. My dear friends, our nemesis also lies hidden like these icebergs. The icebergs hide more than they reveal, and that's what our personalities do. Our personalities hide much more than what they reveal. So, my dear friends, our visible self is how we dress, how we talk, what food we eat, which restaurants we visit, which kind of movies we like, which kinds of songs we hear. All that is part of our visible self, but that is not what we are deep down. So, deep down, we have our self image, our self esteem, we have our traits and qualities, we have our motives, why we do certain things, why we like to be with certain people, why we like to worship what we worship, why do we like to eat, the whys, the reasons are deep within us and nobody knows. Everybody has different reasons. And our points of view are hidden as well. Deeper beliefs will have to, be connected to our heritage, to our family history, to our country history, to our heritage, our religion, and our other orientations. What are the preferences that we have? What is our orientation? So all these things together make an individual, but more of the individual is hidden and less of the individual is seen. And believe me, I may be talking about myself, but even I do not know a lot of things about myself. So a lot of analysis, a lot of testing, a lot of experiences would be required for me to understand myself better. Every day, if you think about what you've done, why you've done it, what's happening, why it may be happening, then some things will start getting revealed to you. Otherwise, you can go through life. I don't know that I don't know. You can go there, and you can move through life in that manner. So, my dear friends, these beliefs have something there, which is something that stops us from achieving personal excellence. If you look at the bottom of this slide, you'll find one line written there. Deep within us lie a lot of limiting beliefs. My dear friends, a limiting belief is something that limits us from doing something. Human potential is unlimited. Human beings were created this way. We are limitless. The way we are going, very soon we may be inhabiting other planets. We may have life or not on another planet, but we will go and create an abode there. We will go and create a colony there. We will find ways to inhabit these planets. So the human potential is absolutely unlimited, but each one's potential becomes limited because of these limiting beliefs. So, one of the big beliefs that we have is I'm not good enough. So, what's the use trying? Another belief that limits us is things will still be the same. So, why try so hard? See, one, I'm not good enough. So, even if I try very hard, I'll not reach anywhere. So, what is the use trying? The second limiting belief is things will still be the same. That means my country, my society, my community, my family, things will just remain the same. If things will remain the same, why should I persevere? Why should I work so hard? Things will remain the same, they won't change. Now, that's a limiting belief in my mind. The third limiting belief that we have here is others will get the credit. So, why work so hard? So, my dear friends, if you're going to continue to think that you're not good enough, you'll remain not good enough. If you're going to continue to think that your efforts will not have any effect, that your efforts will amount to nothing, then you'll never make an effort. My dear friends, if you continue to think that somebody else is going to get the credit, so why should you work? Then you'll never actually work. So if these three limiting beliefs are thrown out by you today, then you'll yourself be surprised to see how much you are capable of. You'll be surprised to see how well you grow. You'll be surprised to see how much you can accomplish. So, my dear friends, with these thoughts, I'll pause this video today. We'll meet in the next one. Until then, all the best. God bless you.